All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Green and Evil Eye coming to again with a review. No, it's not that review. It's not the Arsenal versus Stoke review, which I'm going to do straight after this one. So stay tuned for my next video if that's what you've come here for. I'll review the Arsenal versus Stoke game. This is actually to review the boxing match yesterday, which I was supposed to do straight after last night, but you know, shit happens. You drink one too many Hennessy's, watch a boxing match, and quite frankly, pass the fuck out. So here is my belated review for that match. So, long story cut short, Anthony Joshua is the new WBA, IBO, IBF, and WBO champion. I think I got all of those acronyms right. He's only missing one to the collection, the oldest championship out there, the WBC Heavyweight Championship, held by a certain Deontay Wilder. Well, what is there to say about this fight? There's probably more talking points than there is interesting moments of the fight, in the sense that the fight itself was quite dull, to be honest. I think both are very, very cautious of each other's attributes. You know, to me, I think AJ very much said from the very get-go in his head that, okay, I'm going to box this in a completely different way because, you know, I respect Joseph Parker's power, which I can understand. In the same token, Joseph Parker was clearly very aware of AJ's power and was very nervous about engaging him too much. And that kind of showed in the way the fight played out, to be honest. I think we saw a really cautious fight, particularly in the opening couple of rounds. Not a lot happened. I will say this, though. Two things I thought were absolutely terrible in the night. I thought the commentary by Sky was fucking terrible, because I was one of the mugs that actually paid for this fight. I actually thought the card generally was quite dull. The most interesting thing that happened in the card was David Price getting knocked the fuck out. Aside from that, not much really happened. But the commentary is just terrible. I mean, there's bias. I get you're British. He's British. You want him to do well. We all want AJ to do well. But as a boxing fan, I want you to call shit down the middle. That's all I want you to do. Call it down the middle. Don't insult my intelligence by telling me that, oh, well, Joseph Parker is struggling, when I gave him at least 2 of the opening 6 rounds. Making it sound like he was proper struggling and he's getting schooled, he's getting his ass whooped. And in my mind, I actually turned to my boy and I was like, are we watching the same fight? Maybe the commentary is like from a previous fight, because this to me seems like a pretty even fight. It was a pretty cautious, even chess match. To be honest, there wasn't that much going on. It then, every time it threatened to spice up or get interesting, then the fucking ref got involved. And you know, when you're talking about a ref, when it comes to football, when it comes to boxing, when the ref is the talking point, oh shit comes to mind. Because the ref, I don't know if he's ever refereed a boxing match before, because every time they got close, every time they even got a little bit close, this idiot was in the middle trying to break it up, and it just spoiled the whole momentum of the fight. He was absolutely terrible. Oh, he was so bad. He was so bad. You know the way Howard Foster got criticised for cancelling the Frost Groves fights too quickly. This was worse to me. This type of refereeing was worse, because at least that fuck up was because he was trying to protect George Groves. This one, he just ruined the fucking fight. It just ebbed and flowed, and then kind of AJ pulled away through the middle rounds, and maybe if you're generous, you could have given Joseph Parker a couple of the last rounds. Don't get me wrong. AJ won the fight. Won the fight relatively convincingly. Just styles sometimes make fights, and sometimes styles don't make fights. And this was one of those occasions where the style didn't make the fight. And unfortunately, this is the result that we got. Having said all that, AJ had picked up a WBO strap, and now he's the new unified champion. He needs one more to be the undisputed heavyweight champion. And you've got to say, to achieve all of that by your 21st fight, how can anyone show now? Regardless of whether you think he's been fed fights, he's been protected, he's had a fast route because of who he is, whatever you want to say, this motherfucker has done it in 21 fights. Talk to him. You guys let me know what you think. Did you enjoy the fight? Did you even order it? Probably one of these illegals that streamed it. Let me know in the comments below. Who do you think AJ should fight next? It was pretty interesting that he called out Deontay Wilder. I said from the very get-go that I don't believe Deontay Wilder will be his next fight, just because I think there is a lot he needs to improve on. And I know that his coach has said in a previous IFL interview that he wouldn't want AJ to take on Deontay Wilder until next year. So I can see AJ kind of taking on a few of his mandatories first, and then maybe early part of next year take on Deontay Wilder. So anyone who's hoping for that fight, get ready. I think the Fury fight is more likely than a Deontay Wilder fight. But anyway, you guys let me know in the comments below. Please absolutely crush that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll be back shortly for the Stoke review. Take care, people. Peace.